My name is Luciano Mleifen. Educational sociology is the study of interaction of individuals and their cultural environment, including other individuals, several groups and patterns of behavior. Functionalist perspectives on gender is based on the premise that society is made up of independent parts, men and women, each of which contributes to the functioning of the whole society in order to create social order or stability. Convinced perspectives on gender believe that the main source of gender inequality is the economic inequality between men and women and the societies in which they live in. This presentation critically discusses and seeks to answer the following questions. 1. According to sociologists, what is gender? 2. How do functionalists and conflict theorists view gender? 3. For each perspective, discuss one critique of those views. So, in further cracking the code of this presentation, a role play as a teaching and learning strategy will be adopted or used. I thank you. Colleagues?
Just as my colleague has introduced what we're going to talk about in this video, our next speaker will point out the sociological views of gender. Now I will let my speaker speak.
Gender, according to sociology, gender refers to all those social, cultural, and psychological traits. It links to male and female. It is socially classified based on one's identity. We are looking at how one interprets or presents him or herself towards the people. We also look at how one interacts with one another. So, going forward, it also, in terms of sociology, it also looks at how one behaves. It depends on how does a person behave. So that all comes from a culture, or it is produced by culture. For instance, how one behaves. In our culture, if you behave a certain way, you will be socially classified as a certain gender. Okay, it also goes to a phenomenon. How do I say a phenomenon? In terms of men are looked to be muscular, of which is a masculine. So you have to be muscular in order to be identified as a man. And in terms of females are categorized in terms of being feminine. In that way, will be categorized as a female. For instance, let us look at this chart. At an earlier stage, young children, of which are males, seem to or are natured to play with strong toys like cars, so that they can be stronger. And females are natured to be playing with soft toys like dolls. That also goes to our schools of education. In terms of psychology, males are looked to know maths and technology better, because they are the ones who are looked upon in terms of civil engineering professions. And then in terms of females are the ones that are looked forward into literature in terms of poem, drama, and so forth. So that is how the children are groomed in psychology in terms of sociology. We thank you.
As my speaker has critically discussed the sociological view of gender, a role play based on functionalist theory will follow to provide a clear understanding on what functionalists view gender, and speakers will further elaborate on the functionalist perspective in gender. Thank you.
I am a wife and I am a woman of this house. In my role in this home are to nature, to perform domestic activities such as cooking, laundry, and ensuring the warmth and comfort of my home.
I am the man, I am the husband in this house, and my role is to protect and provide for my family. We are
the Christian family. We respect each other's roles and responsibilities to maintain peace and stability for our home.
To functionalist view gender. Paxson 1956 claimed that acting according to proper roles of men and women in the family also help for socialization of children. If we look this picture, man is responsible for supporting family, whereby woman is most responsible for domestic work. He also mentioned two different roles according to gender. Instrumental role is based on providing shelter and food for father, whereby expressive role responsible for providing care, security for children, emotional support for mother. Another functionalist view is that women have crucial importance for socialization of children. If children does not have mother or care of mother, they might have very serious social and psychological disorder. Let us look at our picture. This picture illustrates that men are responsible for building shelter and providing food for family, whereby mothers are most important for domestic work.
According to functionalist theorist views on gender, gender can also be religiously influenced. That is to say, different religions such as Christians, Muslims, and other African traditional religions can have values, norms, or rather teachings that promote or enhance social cohesion, stability, and peace in a society. For an example, women are taught to be submissive towards their husbands. That is to say, they are taught to accept things at face value or to obey the rules and commands as stated by their husbands, whereas the husbands are taught to be the sole providers and the heads of their families. As depicted in this picture, there are different religions such as the Hindus, the African traditional religions, Muslims, united together as suggested by the functionalist theories. From the functionalist point of view, gender roles are complementary and they exist to ensure that society gets things done efficiently and effectively. As a result, society functions as a system, creating balance and equilibrium. I think.
Our next section will be a role play that portrays the conflict theorist perspective in gender, and two of my speakers will elaborate more from what the role play has shown. Thank you.
Mrs. Shezi, to what we are already on of the thing is we are having problems in our marriage. We seem to argue about minor things. So what exactly are those minor things? What exactly do you guys like about? For instance, at home, he expects me to do the laundry, cook, and take care of the children.
What do you expect me to do? You expect me to cook and wash and take care of the children while you just sit there?
No.
What do you have to do?
No,
if I have to cook and do all those things you've
I'm not
mentioned?
complaining about my
Mr.
role.
Shezi and Mrs. Shezi, can you guys just calm down and help me?
The thing is, he doesn't want to listen. What I'm saying is that I'm not complaining about my roles. What I want is to pursue my career, because I also have to.
No, I don't care about your career. I am working, I provide for the family. So what bothers you?
Okay.
Is what I'm putting on in the family not enough for you?
Do you expect me to do everything for you? All you do is come back from work, you watch TV all the day, and I also have to take care of you.
That's what I have to do. And that's what you have to do the laundry and do the cleaning and take care of the children.
Okay, Mr. and Mrs. Shezi.
I don't have to follow your rules.
Mr. Shezi, can you
You
calm
are
down?
the one to follow my rules.
Can you calm down, Mr. Shezi?
No, she's wrong. She's wrong.
Okay, can you calm down?
Why did
You see what
why
I'm
did she
talking
marry
about?
me at the first place if she knew that
I
she
understand your
was
concern. No, we should divide our roles equally.
No role division. I work, I provide for the family.
I
am
also
the
have to
breadwinner.
work. I also
Mr.
have a
and Mrs.
career.
Shezi,
You
can you
can't
guys
expect
give me
me
a
to
chance
support
to
you all
speak?
the time.
Can you guys give me a chance to speak? Thank you. Okay, the way that I look at this, I think the problem in marriage is communication. You guys don't listen to each other. Mr. Shezi, you seem to have a very, very short temper. You don't listen to your woman. And Mrs. Shezi is obviously upset about that. You don't listen to her. She's a woman, yes. She does the house chores. She does her roles, yes. But she also has a career to pursue, right? She has aspirations. And you?
So I have to wash the dishes.
Just listen. What
Why
I'm
she
saying.
just sit there?
What I'm saying is that you guys need to try and find a better angle of communication, right? To communicate with each other, to listen to each other, okay? And work together to find a right solution, a fair solution to your problem. Divide your duties equally and fairly, okay, in a fair way.
On the question of how do conflict theorists view gender, I will firstly explain the conflict theory. The conflict theory suggested by Karl Marx claims that society is in a state of perpetual conflict because of competition for limited resources. It holds that social orders is maintained by domination and power rather than agreement and conformity. According to conflict theories, those with wealth and power try to hold on to it by means impossible, mainly by suppressing the poor and the powerless. Conflict theories argues that gender is best understood as men attempting to maintain power and privilege to the society in expense to the women. Let's take for example, these pictures clearly indicates that it is difficult for the women to rise above men. Another example, this picture clearly illustrates that there is also an imbalance in terms of finance in the world of work. And my fellow colleague will elaborate more about conflict theories.
When we look at this picture, it shows that a woman is working and also is looking after a baby. This suggests that when women become wage earners, they gain power in the family structure and create more democratic arrangement in the home. Although they may carry on with the majority of the house chores, looking after the baby, taking care of the family, and cooking and doing laundry. Also, the Marxist theory leads to feminist theory because it looks at how can we change the structure inequality in the society as the conflict theory does or suggests, looking at the imbalance ways to make things more equal. With regards to the role play, we can say that a marriage is in a form of oppression. So we can say that Mrs. Shezi is forced by her husband to be the housewife. But on the other side, Mrs. Shezi wants to pursue her career so that she can be financially independent. So we can say that roles of men carry on because they work to maintain power and status. The conflict theory suggests that social problems occur when dominant groups mistreat subordinate ones, thus advocate for a balance of power between genders. Thank you. Since we have discussed the functionalist theory and the conflict theory on gender, my two colleagues will provide a critique of these views, and a conclusion will follow after they have criticized the two theories. Thank you.
To present one critique of the functionalist theory. My critique is that the functionalist theory neglects the oppression of women in the family structure. One of my colleagues mentioned that when women become wage earners in the family, they are able to make democratic arrangements, but they still carry some domestic burden in the family. So if we look at this picture, this woman here is doing her work and carries a child at the same time. So in other words, this woman is oppressed by her man, because if she is working, then they are supposed to hire or employ the helper who are going to help at the house. In other words, when the woman is busy doing her job, then the helper will be able to take care of the child. But in this case, that is not happening. The woman is doing her job, and at the same time, he has to take responsibility of the things that are happening in home. So that is why this is how we are critiquing the functionalist theory, because it neglects the oppression of women in the family structure. So if it was about to be a man to be able to make the democratic arrangements, they had to find other ways of helping the woman to do her job efficiently, and at the same time making sure that the roles in the family are all filled. Thank you.
I'll be talking about the one critique of the conflict theory in gender. Well, according to Max's point of view, a home mom or a housewife is regarded as oppressed, because the working father benefits from the free labor. This theory, instead of acknowledging the different roles played by both women and men, but it looks at women as being oppressed. If we can look at this picture, if both men and women were to take this particular job and do it, women would find it difficult to do this job. Therefore, this means that it is important for the family to divide labor so that they can work, so that the household could work efficiently and positively. Thank you.
Exploring both the views held by the functionalist and conflict theories on gender, we've come to a realization, or rather a conclusion, that even though gender roles may contribute into maintaining our social stability, as the functionalists argue, they can also lead to conflicts among the different genders in the society, which is the argument by the conflict theorist. Hence, everything in life has its pros and cons, and there will always be different views as well as critiques on matters concerning the function and structure of our society. Thank you.